My petals are finally showing.
Welcome to another episode of Chewing the Fat. I'm your host, Big Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in, downloading the podcast. To the folks that have liked and shared episodes, I really do appreciate that. And to the folks that have bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com, thank you so much for helping to support this podcast so that we can tell those beautiful, messy human stories. Right now, another great story coming in from outside of Detroit. Please welcome Mitch Leschinski. Mitch, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great today.
That's
How
awesome.
are you?
I'm good, man. It's so good to see you.
Yeah.
Mitch is a voice actor, and we've met. I think we were on some common projects that we've worked on together in the shoestring TV universe.
Yes, indeed.
And
Best.
And then you're also a podcaster. You have a podcast about your VO journey, correct?
About mine and Mike Pelletier's VO journey, as well as some other folks' journey, VO or not. It's starting to expand a lot. Turns out you can only know so many voice actors, and you can only talk about yourself so long that it gets a little boring to me, really.
That's a great way to set up your episode today. Thank you so much.
Luckily this expands beyond voiceover. I think everyone's kind of heard it if they've listened to my last episode.
But Mitch, you're outside of Detroit. Is that home base for you? Born and raised that area?
Yes, born and raised in or around Detroit. Moved to South Carolina for a year. Couldn't hack it. No, it's definitely not. I don't think the Bible Belt's really my jam. The South is pretty cool, a little hot.
Yeah.
But also, like, all my friends and family are up here, and the girl who's now my wife I was dating, she was up here, so it's like time to get back home.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, so what brought you to South Carolina?
My buddy moved down there, and he's like, if your girlfriend breaks up with you, you're coming to live with me. I'm like, sure. That's not going to happen. It happened. And so I took him up on it. It was a fun little adventure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good friend to offer you a place of respite. It's such a hard time for your a lot of time for, your mental and emotional state when you go through a breakup and stuff like that. So,
yeah, it was especially like to then isolate after breaking up with seemingly my person was, he worked opposite schedule, so I didn't really see him either. So I was just kind of sitting by myself. It was odd time.
Well, we'll get more into that, I'm sure then. Yeah. But for you growing up in around Detroit, as a child, were you always interested in, performing? Were you into acting? Would you just sit at Saturday morning cartoons and go, I want to do that, or what?
I think it was like I started to notice that the best way as an only child I could get the attention of adults was to act goofy, do weird stuff, impressions. Eventually it was like Jim Carrey impressions were my jam. Some adults are like, this kid's weird. But other times you get like really good laughs by doing, pretty good The Mask impression.
Okay.
But yeah. And then after school stuff, they would just have like costumes. So you just put on costumes, dresses, act like however you like. And then I got put in like a little play in elementary school, and that was a blast. And then I landed in high school not knowing what the heck's going on and kind of like without friends. And I got conned into going to an audition with a friend. He didn't show up.
Whoa.
But everybody else welcomed me, like immediately. Why is this kid sitting by himself? And I found that community everywhere since. Yeah. The artistic community is generally pretty welcoming. Yeah. Especially if you're not, vying for their spot.
Well, yeah.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, everywhere, every group, there's going to be somebody that looks at someone else's competition per se. But yeah. I would agree. The arts community, for the most part, is very welcoming, very like, let's bring you in to the fold type of stuff. No, that's great. So is that how you kind of, you're in high school, don't know a direction? Did you say like, hey, this might be something I want to do? Or did you like, nope, I'm joining the military or whatever?
I thought, when I was in high school plays, I'm like, this is going to turn into an on-screen acting. You know, I'm going to go to Wayne State here in the area, and I'm going to learn about acting, and I'm going to do this and that. And then I kind of heard behind the scenes that my director thought I was like kind of a difficult cast.
Oh, wow.
Because I was so unpredictable. And I don't know if that's true. I never asked her, and now she's passed away. I can't ask her if that actually happened. But it doesn't really matter. It was just me getting in my own way, I think. Yeah. And when you get a little older, you're like, I need to just have a job and get money. Like, I need to go get the money.
Right.
And once you have the money, once you found something sort of stable, maybe you can have a stable girlfriend or whatever the heck. Right. The rules that you think you have.
Right.
But voiceover came later and was more of like oh, I can do this? And then like immediately, like, I can do this. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So I started buying up gear and stuff so I wouldn't quit. Call it my anchor.
Yeah, your financial investment. It's like, I paid this money, so I might as well use it.
Yeah. It's easier for me to like be financially invested and not walk away from something. So, here I am. I don't remember how many, 6 years later.
Wow. From
starting training. And I'm still blown away that I'm cracking at it,
Yeah. No, I love that. So when you did, you're talking about trying to find a job and stuff, there's always, if you had said at that time, no, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to be that on-screen Hollywood, it is one of the few careers that people want to pursue that then other people are like, well, how's that acting thing going? Nobody says, well, how's that doctor thing going for you? What's your real job? What are you doing to pay the bills? Right. But when you ever want to do something artistic, it's always like it's a hobby and not a true possibility of a career. And I've never understood that. It's just as difficult as anything else, if not more so, because of that kind of that stigma around like, oh, this isn't a real thing.
Did you have that same thing happen?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. How early did it start for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I kind of did the get a job, but I did my first job was in radio. I worked in radio and television for 30 years because I made the promise to myself is like I would not have a job that I didn't enjoy. So I never worked any fast food restaurants. I never did anything. I mean, there were times I had like 4 or 5 jobs at a time.
Whoa.
But it was, I worked at a radio station. I worked at a production house. I worked, as a audio engineer for bands. I worked, you know what I mean? So it was stuff I enjoyed. I was around music. I was around entertainment. I was around creative people. But it was, a lot of it was stitching. It was stitching, stitching enough money together to try and pay the bills, for myself and my kids and my family and stuff like that. But yeah, that was the one promise I made to myself. I wasn't going to do a job that I did not enjoy, partly because of my ADD, and I will give it up real quick. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I've always said I've had my foot out the door of every job I've ever had until now.
Yeah. And there's some freedom in that though. If you're like, cause I have a friend who's an on-screen actor. Shout out Jay Stark. He's in Atlanta. He's making a go of it. And every side gig that he gets, the side gigs are the 9-to-5 jobs, the whatever. And he tells them like, I'm gonna let you know if I have to have an audition, it's going to take priority over whatever else that you've got coming here, just so you know. And then some people are like, well, we can't do that. It's like, this is my career. This is what I want to do. And if I have the opportunity to do that, it is going to win every time. And that's a hard mindset to come to, though. You know what I mean?
It's a hard financial burden to come to as well when you have to give up paid work to audition.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. As a creative, industry, I think you have to make that commitment to it, or else you will absolutely fail. If you treat it like a hobby, you'll have fun every so often, but then it is going to be more unfun because you can't weather the down times when the checks aren't coming in, when you're doing the auditions and you're getting shortlisted, but you're not getting booked,
Absolutely. Yeah. I have a similar job right now that pays the bills, but they understand that if I call off, it's because I have a job or I have something, or if I come in late, I'm going to tell them, of course, but they're so flexible with me. It's like everything every actor could ever want from a job. Like, it will pivot. Maybe I work this day and I don't work this day. And they ask me, like, when are you working? And it's so nice. And it's at a greenhouse.
Oh, wow.
So, it's just, I love plants and nature and stuff. So I get to win on both sides.
That's
and
awesome.
I get to work a physical job and I get to chill in my booth. So
that's awesome.
I got lucky.
Yeah, no, I love that for you, man. You working at a greenhouse. Were you always into like botany and things of such like that in school and all?
That's what I actually went to college for, was horticulture.
Wow.
And then the more I looked into it, even during college, I was like, you're not going to make a lot of money at that. Like, no matter what, unless you own your own landscaping business, and work like 70-hour, 80-hour work weeks, you're probably not going to do much. And I was like, oh no, I've gone down the wrong path. So I mean, granted, I'm not making $80K right now either.
Right. But like you said, it's giving you that that work-life balance to allow you to have something that you can count on that's coming in, but it'll still allow you to pursue your career of being an actor. Yeah.
And I was just telling somebody I work with, this booth is a reprieve from the hot sun and the, like, my body, almost 40, is like, dude, chill. Chill with the greenhouse, like all the labor. So this is a reprieve from that. And then I go there and it's a reprieve from like standing alone and like, putting a lot of pressure on myself to land jobs and things like that, which I try not to do. I try to have just fun and do the work, put the work in, but it's still, this is a career. It's not just fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah. It's definitely something that you have to work. And like you said, you started 6 years ago with your training. That's part of it too, is getting good coaching. We talked before we started recording about, going to VO Atlanta, doing your networking, doing your marketing, you become the CEO of your own company. And that for me has been the hardest part. That the acting is the fun, is the script interpretation, that type of stuff. But all of the business side of it for me is the hard part.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Yeah.
They tell you, be on the lookout, when you get in, you're not just going to be an actor. Like, it'll be, it's worth it. It is worth it, but it's also like, Jesus.
Yeah. When you're like staring down, it's like, all right, now I have to incorporate somehow, because really, it's like, do I LLC? Do I S corp? What do I do? When do I do it? How do you know what I mean? And luckily, this industry, at least the groups and the circles that I think that are common to us that we run in, are very giving of that information. Like, hey, this is kind of, once you start having this consistently, this is when you need to do this, or what, even before this happens, you need to have this in line or whatever, and you need to start looking around these corners before you get to them.
Yeah. And they've all been through it. So why not actually take some of that advice? Especially like people who are just ahead of you. Like, here's what I'm seeing, just beyond the ridge there, you actually get like a bird's eye view of what's coming immediately. Because you talk to a guy who's been in the business 30 years, like the way he got in, it's definitely he or she got in. Definitely not the same way I'm doing it. There's more avenues now.
Yeah, yeah. And, some people look at that as maybe there's more competition. It's like, okay, well, again, I personally don't try to compare my journey to anybody else's, but, we're human. Sometimes you're like,
yeah,
I applied to that agency and I got the rejection letter and that guy got signed. Why? Right. And it's like, you gotta fight that, because you don't know why. You don't know what that reason is. And
I have to, like, if I get the rejection letter, yes, I feel that. And then if I get it, but someone I know is super talented doesn't, I'm like, what am I doing here? Like,
yeah.
What, like, now what?
Yeah. Yeah.
My really talented friend didn't get in here. What's going on? So it's interesting.
But I mean, but that's, again, part of the community, though, that I think is still supportive of you for getting in, even though they didn't get in, like, I support you, you got this, I didn't get this, or when you share auditions with people, like, hey, there's this audition, you should audition. It's like, if I don't, I'm auditioning too. And if I don't get it, I hope you get it, that type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 'Cause there's room for everybody. And, I don't know anyone who sounds exactly like me or reads copy exactly the way I do. So if they hear me, they like me. There are some times where, like, I'm the only choice. It happened recently. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of hope it stays that I'm the only choice, because
it makes it easy.
Because, easy job, right?
Yeah.
But also helping out's good too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, and that's the thing too, is I think that proves another aspect when you can, help that client solve a problem. You're like, hey, here, I'm an option, but also if you want a different type of vibe, here's somebody else that might be an option as well.
Exactly.
And then that pays off down the road through your friend, but also through whoever that client might have been. They're like, hey, we appreciate you doing this, blah, blah, blah. Do you know anybody that knows blah, 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 speaks Cantonese fluent or something like that? And then you reach out to your network and be like, hey, these people, Yeah. It's
ebbs and flows and give and take. And it's cool being a nice guy too, just in general. It just feels better to not be a prick about things.
Yes, 100%. 100%. I love that. So when you said you went to college and you went for horticulture, what was that reason that's what you picked that particular subject major?
I think it was the same thing that happened with voiceover. At the time, someone's like, you like nature, right? Like, I do. You like flowers? Like, I do. Well, you could get a degree in horticulture. And at the time, I still hardly even know what that means. But I was like, okay, how? And then a friend of the family led me to a local degree I could get. I didn't have to leave the state or anything. Yeah. I was like, heck yeah, let's go. Like, I've already got some ideas about what I'm going to do with that. And those got dashed pretty quick. For me, when an idea gets dashed, it means that wasn't supposed to be the idea. That wasn't what I was going to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
If you can crash my dreams that quick. Yeah.
Now, have you found any, I would say crossover, but any advantage maybe because sometimes we do, internal e-learning or industrial and just knowing terminology, maybe knowing a little, etymology as far as, some Latin derivatives on how to actually present type of stuff in any of your work?
If I wish, I haven't found any Latin names. I think I'd be pretty solid at, or presenting knowledge about plants. I haven't quite found. I don't know if plant people are paying for that sort of thing anyway. But
need to find but that's the thing is like you work at a greenhouse. A lot of places like that, have short form content on Instagram or something like that. And hey, as opposed to AI slopping out, a 15-second reel, let me actually be a human and do some of this for you, and not necessarily for just the one that you work for, but any greenhouse anywhere, or,
I think, especially now that I work at this one, I would want to work, be their voice, but the margins for a greenhouse, especially mom and pop shop, I wonder if it would lend itself to being paid, fairly as a voice actor, but also like they're your mom and pop shop that I've known for 20 years. Like maybe I want to throw them a bone, and this is just part of my hourly wage. I'm not entirely sure exactly how I feel about that. What do you think? I was just thinking about this. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would think I would think they would need to be separate. You're like, okay, hey, I'm your greenhouse guy, blah, 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 but I'll also be your voice. Seeing as I work for you, I'll give you the friends and family rate because I'm also here, but I'm going to invoice you for this. And, try to be like, hey, this is what the GVAA rate card is. Cause I teach people about that rate card all the time when I'm talking to new clients, cause they don't know. That's the thing, is they don't know. It's like, I had a photography business. People don't know why photography costs so much. It's like, you're just hitting a button. You're just talking.
It's you see all the photos your family took.
It's so much more than that. Yeah. And so being able to educate, it's like, oh, well, this is what, if you want to present yourself as something that's on par with a national whatever, this is what the rate would be. I'm giving you a break on that. I can even break it down as how much savings you're making with me over what it would have cost you to hire someone else.
Smart, yeah.
And you make a package that way and say, hey, well, let's make it's a almost like you're doing imaging for a radio station. It's like, all right, I'm going to do a retainer. We'll do a monthly retainer for you. It's going to cost you this much. Yeah. I'll do whatever you got coming up for this amount over the month. It's 2 pages for this amount, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, something like that.
I like that. And I'll definitely bring it up because they just talked to me about it this year. I've never reached, no matter how much outreach I do, direct marketing, things like that, I don't often reach that point of the conversation. Like it's either a one and done or a we don't advertise. That's generally like the two lanes I fall into.
Yeah, I had that particular conversation with a greenhouse in Florida because along with the work that I do, as Rob and character work and stuff like, and I love comedy, I love character work. I also have the voice of Santa, so I do a lot of holiday work as Santa, and they wanted Santa, and so we got into that discussion, and they were like, "Oh, well, that's a lot more than we talked." And then break it down, they're like, "Oh, well, I didn't realize da 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 da." Yeah, and their eyes open, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I could see the value in that." Blah blah blah. And at that time, they're like, "Yeah, we don't have anywhere near the budget of that." And I was like, "Well, let's talk. Let's work it." And so we worked something out. But it's, like I said, it's an educational thing. You just have to let people know this is what it is, but then also that you're willing to work on it, but you're not going to lowball Fiverr your rates, because that does bad for everybody.
Yes, I agree. Yes. Yeah, it's I understand the want to do it, and I have friends who do great on that site, lower wages, still fighting against AI, things like that, made a living off of it. But it does seem like a quantity game. And if you can't get that quantity, it's definitely not worth it. And messing with regular rates for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's as I've heard it, the phrase coined, it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't want to race to the bottom. I want to be the alternative to that. You know what I mean? And nothing against folks they're working and they're doing that and they're able to now charge, industry standard rates and things like that. But you're like, yeah, I'll do it for $5, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, that does no good to anybody. And a lot of times the quality of product you get as the person that's wanting to do the advertising doesn't match what you're wanting, what the message you want to send either. So yeah, I think being able to be the human quality option is always going to be the thing that allows you to keep us and sustain a career, especially in voiceover and now. Because there's so many people that are tired of hearing AI and hearing the same voice on everything. So you want to stand out. Let me be your brand voice.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm an odd duck sometimes. So I think if AI tried to emulate me, it'd sound a little strange. I don't know.
No,
I don't quite know.
Yeah, I think it all sounds strange because it just doesn't. There's no soul in it.
Yeah,
you know, you just can't replicate the human condition.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. I've heard some really on the edge, but definitely still not quite there.
Yeah. So in the work that you're doing now, though, you have any favorite projects that are not under an NDA or anything like that you can talk about that you really enjoy doing?
What's so wild is last year, felt like the year of, I'm blossoming. Like my petals are finally showing. and then everything's going to come out this year. So there's a video game called Oceanhorn 3 that I did so many voices for. I realize now that they also asked other people to do the same lines to see who got it the best, and then they plug them in wherever, which I find interesting and smart. But that came out a week ago, and I get to share that with everybody. And, now I'm playing it. I'm finding myself here and there. I'm talking, I'm the main character's dad and stuff. And it's like, this is a dream come true.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I don't think this is under an NDA, but I got to play a pubic hair. I'm not going to tell you where yet, but this is
I would assume in the pubic region. Hopefully not in the edge of a Coke or something like that, but
no, it's an educational video for kids. Yeah, I'm Harry Crotcher, and for whatever reason, that is the epitome of everything I want to do as a voice actor.
That's awesome.
Such an odd thing. And then Shoestring TV, which you're a part of as well. Yeah. Can you attest to how fun that is and what a good group that is?
Oh God, it's so good. And I've said it on several occasions. Jason, and I had Jason on the podcast. He was the last episode of last season. He is such a great writer, but more so than writing, his world creation is just so good. He just crafts these worlds that are just
crazy, amazing,
and so vibrant and just thrilling to be a part of and to be in and to act in and to play in. And of course the cast is just stacked with just some of the nicest, most talented people that I've just ever had the pleasure to meet and work with.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
It's so great, and more people keep getting added on. I'm like, ooh, new friends. Yeah, pretty great.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite character that you've had from the shoestring work that you've done?
Ooh, yes, I do. The character's name is Omni, and it's so distortedly not me. But the character is the other being that is pushing Herman, the serial killer. Whether he's alive or dead, this being is in his head talking him through, essentially continuing to be a murderer and telling him that everything's going to be okay.
Right.
And I don't know why I just love it. It gives me the way Jason described it was Frank from Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that character.
Yeah.
So I definitely put that on, and that character to be gives me chills. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so fun to play something that's so out there, opposite when you're opposite of you, opposite of your nature. It kind of allows you to play in those dark recesses of your mind that you wouldn't necessarily, as a decent, upstanding citizen, be in any other time.
I explore that area more than some, I think, in the sense that, like, looking at it. But
yeah,
I know there's a whole darkness section of this podcast, so I'm very interested. Yeah.
So along with the projects you've got going on, do you have any like voiceover bucket list things that you haven't checked off yet? I mean, pubic hair obviously was at the top of the list, but
I can't wait to show that to everybody. But I'd like to be in a TV spot that, like, my mom would run across because she just heard me on the radio, and that felt like so gratifying. And, I did the video game thing. I could do that 1,000 times. What a blast. But if I could be like a series regular on a big adult animation, like Big Mouth or something, or anything coming up, man, that's the epitome of winning for me. Just that type of humor is perfectly on point for, I'd stand at the top of the mountain and be like, this is everything. And then I'd roll down, climb back up, I guess. I don't know.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
What's your thing? I know you're a radio guy. You've been on the radio. People have heard your voice. Mm-hmm. You've been everywhere, I'm sure.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, it's for me. I mean, the day-to-day right now is just to make sure that my family's taken care of, to have consistent work in whatever it is. Yes, there's stuff I enjoy doing. I love doing character work. I love doing character voices. Yeah. The Santa Claus thing is amazing. I have a video game coming out that I'll be a Santa in.
What?
Which is going to be fun. And, it's a pre-apocalyptic game.
Okay.
Which is interesting. So, but it's like, I'm the guy who plays Santa, but lives the Santa lifestyle kind of year round. You know what I mean? So it's just, which is fun.
Strange.
It's strange, but fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And doing that, I would love to be on a Hallmark ornament. I would love to do a toy voice.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a Hallmark orniment or something like that would be amazing.
What a blast.
I got a few friends that have done that, and I'm like, all right, we need to talk, Why
do we get that?
Yeah. Or like an animatronic at Halloween or something like that.
Yes. Those are so fun. Have you gotten those auditions?
I have.
Yeah.
So
how fun.
Yeah. And so those are kind of like, I would love to have those kind of things, but truthfully, storytelling is where I really love to be. Longer format documentary. I'd love to do some documentary work, whether it be like a Nat Geo, an HGTV, something like that, or in-show narration on something would be great. That helps people tell their story, moves the narrative along in between those things. And that's the stuff that I've coached for and working towards. But those are things that also require you can't find those gigs often on your own. You've got to have some representation that can be okay, cool. Here's this thing from
and someone else
TLC.
Has to die.
And exactly. And someone else has to die. I don't want anybody to die, but maybe if you get sick, you can call me.
You're the
nothing terminal. Yeah, nothing terminal, but so that's kind of on my VO bucket list. And of course, I as a singer and like a animation fan, I would love to originate a character that then other people do my voice of the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's the tippy top. I'm gonna truly. That's you're Peter Griffin, and then everyone else is like trying to be Peter Griffin.
Peter Griffin, exactly. It's like, like Jim Cummings is amazing, you know, and his Winnie the Pooh is amazing, but he's still just replicating a previous Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. I want to be that originator. And nothing against Jim's other original characters. No, I love his original work and things like that. But yeah, I would like to be that original character that people are like, oh, I'm going to do the voice of Schmingy Brother, whatever it is, and
everyone knows Schmingy Brother,
right? So so that's kind of like on my dream board, on my vision board over here.
Do you have an actual vision board?
I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just reminders as I'm here in the studio, and little encouraging, sayings, and surround yourself with that positivity.
I don't have much in here. I'm kind of boring. I have 2 characters from the movie Whiplash staring at me because they mean a lot.
Not my tempo. Not my tempo.
Not my fucking time. Yeah, pretty great movie. And then I have my grandfather's ring when he decided to be a chiropractor instead of doing whatever else he was doing.
Wow.
So he decided to live his dream. So my aunt gave me his ring as a reminder of like, keep going.
Keep pushing. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Mitch, what's bringing you joy right now?
Spring. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of out of the winter funk, so it's everything. It's everything everywhere all at once. So being, like, friends are reaching out again. They're like coming out of hibernation. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness, like, we're still friends. Including the VO community that keeps me like in voiceover. It's probably they're the last door I'd have to walk through. They'd have to be like, okay, you can quit now.
Wow. Yeah.
But spring, getting ready to plant stuff is so exciting. My wife just took a whole year off to like set up our ceramics business. And this year she finally like is getting to use her kiln and start getting the business ready and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see her blossom, and she's like kind of blowing up on some of her videos online are kind of blowing up already. So that's cool. Like
awesome.
It's like happening. So I'm excited to see her grow as a business owner. That's bringing me joy. I have a lot of gratitude. I could run through my whole gratitude list. I'm not going to, because there's so much to be grateful for. I'm a lucky dude. That's what's bringing me joy, including this.
So, Mitch, this is the second segment of the show. This is where we dive a little bit deeper into your mental health journey. I definitely believe the more we talk about it, the easier it gets for us all to realize that we are not alone in this, and we are not alone in having these type of thoughts. So for you, how do you keep the darkness at bay?
Well, it's evolved, right? I don't know. I have such a long-winded answer for this. I don't really know if I should.
No, please.
It seemed impossible at first. I have a form of OCD called unwanted intrusive thoughts, where if I get a fucked up thought, it sticks for a long time, sometimes for years. I'll dwell on that thought. Why did I think that thought? Things like that. So that can get pretty dark, right? And I found out that's like a thing, and then I read a book on how to like manage that, and it like just goes to show once you diagnose something that's bringing you down, you can learn how to like better it or get better at dealing with it. So that's one way. Research, actually looking at the problem. Yeah. Instead of thinking that it'll just go away. But so when I was a kid, I started having like insane amounts of nightmares. And that was like its own thing. So I learned to lucid dream.
Mm-hmm.
And that was its own story, I guess, in itself. So that's one way. Massive amounts of control over my own mind in the dream world. And then, not drinking, being sober helps. Helps stay in like a place of gratitude. I didn't do any like 12-step program or anything, but you can kind of like step back and look at your life a little bit if you have a problem, like I did, I think. And gratitude is huge. You have to agree. Please agree with me, Rob.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think especially when you have a proactive imagination, you're able to, build these scenarios and worlds and things like that internally in your mind, good or bad.
Yeah.
Being able to focus on the good, to focus through gratitude, not the woo-woo manifestation type necessarily, but there is science to back that up, that the more positive you can speak to yourself and the more positive you can think, the more you see the positive.
Yeah. Being nice to, I didn't realize like being nice to yourself was like something you had to practice or whatever. As a kid, you don't think about it. You just think you're doing kid stuff. And then eventually someone calls you a name and you like think about that for a while. Why did they call me that? And then more people, I started getting bullied pretty early on. So I had to like, I think that helped me become a comedian in a sense, at least have a sense of humor. But it also dragged other parts of me through the mud. Maybe not everyone like reaches an age where they can go like, the world isn't exactly what I thought. It's more nuanced and I can figure this out, and bad stuff's going to happen, but bad stuff happens to everybody and we can figure it out. I don't know. Being more open-minded. Yeah. Maybe I don't have a rant about it. I don't think I've fully grasped how I stay. I also, like I said, looking at it, I love staring into the darkness. I love darkness. It's fascinating to me. The horror side of everything. Not true darkness. I don't really I'm not a murder mystery guy. But, so I think that helps too. Looking at monsters, like monsters, and going, oh, this is fun. This is a fun place to play. This is, it's not real, so I get to play there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key when you're, when you're looking in the darkness, whether you're sitting in the darkness, you're in a dark spot or whatever, is to not be consumed by it. Analyze it, sure. Look at it.
Yes.
Experience what's going on as an observer as opposed to a participant, maybe. You know what I mean? So that you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I can look at this and be analytical about it and what's going on and ask, those, the scientific method type questions to, why, 4 levels of why, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
To help you move through it. Because, everybody goes through a dark time, and sometimes you do have to sit in it. I went through a very dark time when my mother passed last year, Yeah. It's hard. And it's hard to have been, on a chart of unemployed, even though I was doing voiceover full time, but people look at you, they're like, oh, you're unemployed. You know,
Right.
my mother just died. I have all this other stuff going on as well. You know, it can be dark and it can feel heavy, but to
Other people, obviously, I mean, I'm sure having a supportive partner and people around you.
Yeah. And truthfully, and I've said this before, you know, had I not lost that job, I would not have had the time to spend with my mother before she passed, to be her caregiver and to have that time with her. With a regular job, I would not have been able to do that because I could not have taken off enough time to take her to her doctors and do the things that I needed to do, you know.
How long was that?
I mean, it was about 1.5 years. You know, it was, you know, and there was times leading, you know, prior to that before I got let go. So, I mean, it was been like a 3-year kind of journey. But as, you know, things got moved along and things, it, you know, it took more time. But yeah, I also would not have had the VO community. I would not have had friends that I was coming along and how work was going and, you know, training and this, that, and the other. But also how I was doing mentally with everything else that was going on, and friends that, you know, I didn't know a year prior reaching out saying, hey, you know, thinking about you, you know, friends that praying, sending positive thoughts, sending love, that type of stuff. You know, it's having a community definitely helps.
Yeah. Especially in this community, it feels that way. You can meet someone pretty quick. They're like, I've been there. And I think we're very, very in touch with our emotions and understand that need to have that connection. And you see someone who's down, even if you just met them, it's like, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you as like a big thing.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
It's a very empathetic community because, like I said, we've all been there, but also with the nature of what we do, interpreting humanity for a performance, I think makes us more sensitive to that.
I agree. And yeah, when you're sitting, like you're caretaking, you're probably doing it with you and your mom, and those are the two people there. And you kind of can't, it's hard to reach out during those specific moments to have a hand on your shoulder per se. I haven't had to do anything like that yet, and it's terrifying to think about. I don't know. You said you had 3 years, but being prepared for that seems impossible. Mentally prepared.
Yeah, you're never. I don't know that you can mentally totally prepare for that.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's a big one.
Yeah,
like I think I have either seasonal depression or just depression that comes in a specific wave. I can mentally prepare for that. It comes to about October, I'm like, uh-oh, here it comes. Like, time to like be extra nice to myself or give myself some leeway for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that's going to last, but I pop out of it. But when it comes to death, that's like, I still don't know how to deal with death.
Yeah. Well, you know, I definitely believe that when it's grief, you know, when you're dealing with grief, you know, death, I understand death. It is a part of life. It is.
I guess that's true. It is. Grief is its own.
It is the, you know, the proof that we're human. It is the proof that, you know, time as a commodity is important because it is an unrenewable commodity. You cannot make more time. Once these moments that we have together, you'll never get them back. Sorry, bro. You know what I mean? But it's where you spend that time and what's important for you to spend that commodity that you cannot make up more of. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's death is something that you look at separately than grief. Grief is the thing that is the proof of love that you had for someone. And then you don't have that outlet to connect that love to that person directly anymore. It's only connected through thoughts and feelings and memories.
Yeah.
You know, and it never goes away. That type of grief, it never goes away. I saw something the other day. They compared it to glitter.
Just stuck. You'll find a little piece
it's like
of it.
When you
somewhere.
when you have that first loss, and it's the day that you are covered in glitter. It is everywhere. You can't turn. You can't look. But as time passes, some of that glitter falls off. But it'd be 3 years later, and then you've taken a pair of socks out, and you see that glitter wedged into a pair of socks, and it reminds you, and you're back there again. But you're able to then think of the sparkle as opposed and the shimmer, as opposed to the weight of being covered in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I've never heard that one. That's exactly right. I'm lucky in that sense. I don't maybe want to feel. I've felt the pain of a lost loved one, not a parent or anything yet, but I let myself feel that, luckily. But when you get those waves, like you say, the glitter, you see the glitter, you feel it too. Yeah. I mean, it's have you gotten to a point where you can have a joyful memory that isn't always tinged with something sad, or a scent memory, or a visual reminder? Okay.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, those are the things. Like, I personally feel like I'm a very positive person. So like, I don't hold on to negative memories very long. My wife last night, you remember when that tire broke off that car? I was like, I kind of remember, She's like, that was a terrible day for me. I was like, okay, I'm sorry it was a terrible day. It was 15 years ago. It's like, I don't really remember that, So I guess there's a blessing in my terrible memory, but yeah. So when I do feel those, I get that scent memory, or I see that place where I'm taken back somewhere, and it has something to do with, like, my mother, that it is now a tear may fall. I will get sad, but it's sadness because I can't pick up the phone and reconnect.
Right.
And I can't, you know what I mean? There's nowhere for it to go except to
tell her you think her.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. She is you. I mean, you are her, right? Obviously you're a little piece of everyone you've ever come across, but like a mother to son, like, you are.
Exactly.
And luckily you have, it's so awesome to see that you have that connection too. Yeah. I'd like to hear more about her. Maybe not on recording.
Well, see, that's another thing. She was a guest on the podcast. I have a recording of her and talking to her, and to hear her stories in her voice. I recommend anyone that has parents that they've not lost yet, get your phone, get a voice recorder, go talk to them and say, just tell me about your favorite memory from high school. Tell me about, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And have that you can keep. Heaven forbid that you need to listen to it again anytime soon, but that you have it for when that time comes.
I kind of wanted to get my family to find, physical photos or not, but I'd like them to be physical or make them physical, and write a story. Maybe a verbal story would be easier, but I'd like to hear, you go through old photos, you have no idea who that little kid holding the hose, or why that photo even mattered at the time, what time of year it was, what that person felt. I'm so interested because I can look at my photos and know exactly how I felt about either the person I took the photo of, or that feel of that day. I'd love to hear other people's versions of those old, faded photos. But it's hard to get, that's a little bit of work. So maybe if I just recorded them after asking them a question. That's a smart idea.
Yeah. I think it's definite because it is one of those things, once they're gone, you don't have that opportunity anymore. You just don't, to have that memory or something or whatever.
Yeah.
If you got grandparents, talk to your grandparents. It's just something that you can have selfishly, to have with you for those times of remembrance later on in life or whatever, to really help you. And then you never know what gems of wisdom, or that they may have gone through the same type of thing that you have gone through as a child. Maybe they had those, intrusive thoughts and things like that.
No, I just found out my mom was like, what is wrong with this? Because it comes with this sense that you need to tell somebody. And she's like, God, I don't know what the heck's going on here. So that was kind of funny.
Wow.
My cousin has a similar issue, so we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I definitely only recently learned how to learn from other people's mistakes. I don't know what that issue is, but that's its own thing. So I definitely feel you there, like hearing some of the trials of my mom being a single mother or my dad being a stepdad. Like that had to be hard as hell. I only recently kind of looked back and went, man, that must have been tough.
Yeah.
I was probably a little pain in the ass. And then I found out my mom and aunt and uncle all got to hear their mother's voice for the first time in like 40 years.
Wow.
Because they found these recordings that they did before she passed away.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Forgetting and then getting that back, especially from back then.
Yeah.
The 80s. That's pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah. But
so you have it.
Yeah. But like I said, what a great thing to have for, whenever you might need something like that.
Right. Never delete a voicemail. That's what I've decided.
All right, Mitch, this is the third segment of the show. It's time now for the Fast Five. The Fast Five. It's time now for the Fast Five. Fast Five. Sorry, I'm still working on a theme song for this segment. I just really need to record something, get a drum track or something. I don't know. Anyway, Fast Five is powered by Poddex. It's an app created by my friend Travis Brown. If you go to chewingthefatbr.com/Poddex, you can download the app from your favorite app store. But it's 5 random questions, no wrong answers. You ready to go? Don't be scared.
I'm not scared at all. I'm glad you sang, because I was like, we both almost cried. So we're gonna get in a different mindset here.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. Who was your biggest mentor or teacher this year?
Oh my gosh, it's supposed to be fast?
What name came to mind?
Mike Regan.
Mike Regan.
He's another fellow voice actor. Well, I don't get to talk to as much lately, but he's prolific, good dude. Just and helpful. Yeah, helpful to the community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, question number 2. What gives you the creeps?
Mustaches.
Really? Like just mustaches, no beard, just a mustache? It's a particular type.
There's mustaches on older dudes with those big, essentially the epitome of the creeper back in the day.
Oh, like the little pencil thin mustache type thing.
No, I think it's a normal mustache, But back in the day, the guys would have these really big, Dahmer regular glasses, and they'd have a mustache. I think as a kid, I saw like America's Most Wanted photo on the TV of a guy like that, and ever since then, I'm out. Creeps me out.
Oh, right.
So it's more than just the mustache. There's a whole look.
There's a vibe. There's a look. There's a thing. But I got you.
Anyone listening should be able to picture this man.
All right. Question number 3. What do you geek out about?
Board games, specifically a game called Wingspan.
Wingspan. Tell me about Wingspan.
In that vein, birds. But
Burbs.
Wingspan is a engine building game, and anyone who knows board games knows what that means. Otherwise, you're collecting birds, and every bird in the game is different. So no one else is going to be able to play that bird for the rest of the game. And you learn about them, and you learn where they want to live, and all. It's just a beautiful game. It's one of the top games.
Really?
Just look it up. Wingspan.
I will definitely have to look up Wingspan.
It's awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, question number 4. What kind of shower ideas do you get? You know, they say you're one of the most creative spaces are in the 3 Bs, in the bathroom, the bedroom, or a bar room. So if you're in the shower and just had a great idea, what type of shower idea do you have?
Oh, it also depends on how much caffeine I've had before the shower, but it's usually what kind of garden I'm going to do in the spring, and then I can never live up to that. And then it's like movie or writing ideas. So somewhere in the realm of like production, another idea that I will forget by the time I get out of the shower. It's a problem with showers. No pencils. Like
you need to get some of those like little shower crayons that you can just write on the wall.
That's smart. Yeah. And I also created a piece of art based on the marbling in my shower.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I love that. All right. Question number 5. Where is one place you hope to visit before you die?
Australia.
Australia?
Yes.
The entire continent?
I don't know which part, to be honest. I just know that there's like so many other, it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
It's like an alien place.
Literal alien place with big old spiders and weird animals and things. So.
I love insects and stuff. So
really?
Yeah, I'm not scared.
Australia. Very cool. I love that. Yeah. That's great. Well, that's our Fast 5, and that's the show. Mitch, thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for almost making me cry, and
it's a full journey here.
Letting me rant.
It's a full journey here when you chew the fat. So if folks want to keep up with you and your journey or whatever you got going on, your pottery, all that stuff, what's the best way they can do that?
If you type in Mitch Leschinski, MITCHLESCHINSKI on Google, I'll be the only person that pops up. So however you want to find me, that guy it's going to be me. You're going to be like, dang, look at this guy. Like, he's everywhere. And then if you scroll, you're only going to see versions of me, including my old MySpace. So if you want to look at weird-ass old pictures of me on MySpace, you could do that too.
Your top song's still on there? Well, I guess I don't know if it's...
I think it's kind of dismantled, but still has photos from people's, it's very strange.
You and Tom hanging out on MySpace.
Oh, please don't look at that, you guys. Never mind.
I'll make sure to put links to all of that in the show notes so the folks can follow you. Mitch, buddy, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love everything you got going on, and I wish you nothing but success with everything. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Atlanta in a few weeks.
Heck yeah. I love you too. I appreciate it.
Or whenever this airs, to having had seen you in Atlanta a few weeks. It's a mystery of time. And if you would like to support this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com. But until next time, I look forward to the chance we have to sit a spell and chew the fat.